Out of the three basic tenses in English, we are going to discuss each and every detail about past tense. First, I will explain what is a past tense, then its types, the structure with examples, all the uses of each type, and in the end, the three different forms of each: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. I have already given complete information about present tense. You can learn by going through this video. Also, have given a link in the description below. Now coming back to today's topic, it is a verb tense that describes an action that has already happened. As like present tense, past tense is also categorized into four types: simple past, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. Remember, these tenses help us to give accurate information about how and when events happened in the past. Let's begin with the first type, simple past. It is used to talk about actions or events that were completed in the past. Let me show you quickly the uses, structure, and some examples to understand the simple past in an easy way. It is used for actions that happened or ended at a specific time in the past. Like Asutosh died in 2012. She came to see me last night. A particular time is mentioned in the above. The simple past is used for describing past habits. Note down time expressions like always, rarely, often, and never can be used to underline this. They always used to play cards on Sunday evening. He never ate meat. It is used when two or more actions finished in the past. She switched on the light before she opened the door. The train started just before I reached the station. It is also used in narration, direct and indirect speech. Simple present in direct speech will become simple past in indirect speech. Manoj said, I am a carpenter. Manoj said that he was a carpenter. And simple past in direct speech will be changed into past perfect in indirect speech. Meera said, Kareem arrived on Monday. Simple past. Meera said that Kareem had arrived on Monday. Past perfect. After understanding the uses of simple past tense, note down the structure. Subject plus past form of the verb. Past form of Isamar will be was and were. Have becomes had. Do becomes did. The simple past of regular verbs is usually formed by adding d or ed at the end of the verb. For example, love, loved, stat, stated, watch, watched. And when the verb ended with y, before that there is a consonant, we just add ied by replacing y. Try, tried, copy, copied, and many more. Look at some of the irregular verbs and their past form. Become, became, begin, began, build, built, can, could, and many more. Now let me show you how the forms of verbs change in different types of sentences, like in affirmative, negative, and interrogative. I met her yesterday. The negative is I did not meet her yesterday. Note down the structure. Subject plus did not plus root form of the verb. Did I meet her yesterday? Interrogative. Did plus subject plus root form of the verb. Remember the most important thing. When the simple past tense is with the verb to be, we do not use the auxiliary did. Like, we were happy to see you. Affirmative. The negative is we were not happy to see you. Were we happy to see you? Interrogative. Next type of tense. Past continuous or progressive. The past continuous is used to express an action or event that was going on at some time in the past. He was working hard. They were reading chapter 2 of English. Used for actions that were ongoing or happening in the past. Let me show you the structure first, then I will explain all the uses of past continuous one by one. Subject plus was were and ing form of the verb, or you can say present participle. Was used with singular subject, I, he, she, it, and were used with plural subject, you, we, they. See some examples. He was writing an application. They were playing kabaddi. Now the uses. It is used to describe an ongoing action at a specific time in the past. Madhav was watching a web series last night at 10 p.m. I was working as a receptionist in July. From the above, it emphasizes that an action was in progress at a certain point in the past. We use past continuous when one action interrupted another. Remember, usually the interrupting action is expressed by simple past. We were gossiping when the teacher came in. Here, the interrupting action is in simple past and it interrupts the past continuous we were gossiping. See one more example. Meera was washing the dishes when he came in. It is used with actions which were usually being done more frequently or habitually in the past. We use adverbs like always, forever, constantly, occasionally, often, rarely, and many more. She was always arguing with others. He was constantly worrying about the exam. Here, the adverbs are always and constantly modifies the verbs argue and worry. Past continuous is used when two or more actions were happening simultaneously in the past. While I was cooking dinner, my daughter was doing her homework. Were you listening while she was talking? It is also used in narration. If the sentence in direct speech is present continuous, it will be changed into past continuous in reported speech. They said to Karan they are playing cricket. They told Karan that they were playing cricket. Now the three forms. She was trying a new recipe for dinner. Affirmative. We need to add just the adverb not after the auxiliary verbs was or were to form negative. She was not trying a new recipe for dinner. Was she trying a new recipe for dinner? To form interrogative, using the past continuous put was or were before the subject followed by the present participle of the main verb. Move on to the third type, past perfect. It is a verb tense that indicate an action that occurred before another action in the past. The patient had died before the doctor came. Pradeep had travelled to Berlin until last month. To form past perfect, we use had after the subject and past participle form of verb after had. Note down the structure. Now the uses. The first use is, as I told earlier, an action that happened before another action in the past. I had fed the puppy before I ate my breakfast. By the time he arrived, they had already left. It is used in conditional sentences like, if she had met me, I would have helped her. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. Here, the past perfect is used in the if clause to indicate the unreal and hypothetical conditions in the past. Past perfect is also used in narration. When the sentence in direct speech is present perfect, it will be changed into past perfect in indirect speech. She said, I have finished my work. Present perfect. Subject plus have plus past participle form of verb. She said that she had finished her work. Past perfect. Subject plus had plus past participle form. One more example. They said, we have spent all the money. They said that they had spent all the money. Note down the three forms of past perfect. She had drawn the sketch of a map. Affirmative. Negative statements are formed by adding the adverb not after the auxiliary verb had. She had not drawn the sketch of a map. Had she drawn the sketch of a map? Interrogative. Now fourth and the last type, past perfect continuous. It denotes an action that started and continued in the past up to another point in the past. She had been waiting for me for 3 hours. He had been teaching us since March. In the above examples, actions had already begun sometimes ago and continued up to the time of speech. Subject plus had plus been plus present participle form of verb. Note down the structure. When explaining a cause or reason for a past event, we use past perfect continuous. She felt refreshed because she had been sleeping. Sleeping is the cause for feeling refreshed. He was successful because he had been working hard. Working hard is the cause for his success. As I mentioned earlier, it is used to express an action that began in the past and was ongoing till another action occurred. I had been waiting for the train for 1 hour when it finally arrived. They had been living in Kolkata before they moved to Hyderabad. And of course, it is also used in narration. When the sentence in direct speech is present perfect continuous, it will be changed into past perfect continuous in indirect speech. Simon said, I have been gardening for 2 hours. Present perfect continuous. Simon said that he had been gardening for 2 hours. Past perfect continuous. Ritika said, I have been visiting Ladakh regularly for last few months. Ritika said that she had been visiting Ladakh regularly for the last few months. Now the 3 forms of past perfect continuous. Amar had been attending class very often when the accident happened. Affirmative. Amar had not been attending class very often when the accident happened. Negative. Had Amar been attending class very often when the accident happened? Interrogative. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you are confident about using these tenses. Keep practice by taking notes of this lesson, or you can watch the video again. Make sure to subscribe and share it with the ones who need it the most. I will see you soon in my next lesson. Till then, do take care, stay safe.